I was working on my last project, which was in 3D, and I got a call from the guys at Paramount here. And they said, "What do you know about Justin Bieber?" And of course, when you hear the name Justin Bieber, all sorts of images and things pop into your head. And I had done a lot of social media videos in between movies, and so I was part of the community when Justin first came out. And I remember seeing his videos for the first time, particularly the Chris Brown With You video that we actually opened the movie with. The guys at Paramount, they wanted to do a concert film at first, and I was like, I don't really love concert films. It's not really what I do, but I love telling stories. I love the story of Justin Bieber. The idea that a kid could have a dream, and that kids at home all around the world who were empowered by technology could give him that dream is a pretty incredible story, and a story that wasn't possible 5 years ago, wasn't possible 3 years ago. My initial conversation with Scooter was quite the interesting one because he put me through the ringer. He wanted the right filmmaker to make this movie, someone who understood the story of Justin Bieber, someone who understood the character of Justin. And so we had long conversations on the phone about technology, about Justin's career, about his family and things like that made us both comfortable enough to go ahead and make this movie. It was definitely something that excited me. It was just more of like, how would it be to start a movie so quickly? How would it be to make the movie so quickly? How would we get his show in shape by the time that we were going to shoot it, which was only 3 weeks away at that point. So we started. As soon as they gave me the job, I had to leave the next day to Atlanta to go meet Justin for the first time. It was a crazy fervor going, it was the first time he'd been back in Atlanta in a long time, and he was doing his tour, so this was sort of part homecoming for him. Akon was there because he was going to do a surprise guest appearance on it.
Watching the show? Come on, man, what's wrong with you? You come here to say, kiss you on the cheek and say hi.
And Scooter, I meet Scooter for the first time, and when you meet Scooter for the first time, he's doing his thing, there's people running around, he's doing meet and greets, doing all this stuff, and so we were kind of dragged around a little bit to sort of live this experience, and we immediately got an impression whoa, this life is insane. This is the biggest pop star in the world, and we're getting on a crazy train that's not going to stop, so we just got to keep up. And then it was sort of right before the show started, Scooter came over to me and said, "This is your shot to meet Justin. He has literally 45 seconds, come with me." So we're rushing through, we're blowing past security, we get past all the crowds, get back into his little dressing room, and he's there, and he's playing a video game, and Scooter's like, "Justin, this is John."
That's the director, that's the one. Right here in the middle. So, here we go. I got it.
I got to meet him, and he kind of looks at me and he's like, "This is John, and John's gonna make your movie." Justin's like, "Oh, cool." And he goes back to playing his video game, as if it was just another camera, which we were just another camera around. As soon as I got to Atlanta and sat out in the audience and experienced his show for the first time, it was the first time I'd seen him live, all sorts of ideas came into my head. Justin comes out, he's 16 years old, and he owns that whole venue. Just the energy in the room. When you felt 20,000 girls screaming their heads off, and you saw moms and dads dressed up, and Justin reaches out to the audience, and they interact with him, and he looks them in the eye, and they go crazy. I knew that just the 3D element was going to be able to help translate this feeling. I knew that we had something on our side that a lot of movies don't have, which is that 3D world. Because the schedule was so tight, we had to move very, very quickly, and we worked with a great group called Magical Elves. You see a little thanks to the Magical Elves at the end of our movie, and some people think it's a joke, but it's actually a really great group of filmmakers who do things like Top Chef and Project Runway and stuff. And so they had crews already set, so we sent them out right away as soon as I got the job to go just start shooting things. Tons and tons of footage every day, new stuff. And as we were doing, we would write notes of fun things that would happen that day. And at the same time, I was constructing the show to make sure the show was up to par, which was only a couple weeks away. making sure the dancers were there. They had to fly out, they had to learn the new dance numbers, they had to do all that stuff, make sure the pyro's in place. At the same time, I was constructing what the story would be of our movie, the backstory. And so I talked to Patty, I talked to the grandparents and his friends about how he got here, and so I'd be writing sort of that outline. And Patty was finding videos underneath her bed in their apartment or wherever they're in the bus and just giving it to us and saying, I don't know what's on this tape, go see what's there. And we'd make some really, really great discoveries from it. So it was a very organic way. Everyone was in it together. Everyone was, it was a very collaborative experience. After a few weeks of being on the road, you know, we had big crews, giant cameras with sound people and all this stuff, and we weren't getting the intimacy that I wanted in the movie. The thing that I thought, you know, you want to, it's like Almost Famous. You want to just be in there with him with a recorder and getting the most honest moments with him when you least expect it. So I decided to go in without a crew, with just me and my little camera, and just live on the bus with him, hang out with him, be with his friends, and just embed myself.
87 sports, 42, also close.
And so I did that, and of course he wasn't paying attention to me during that time either. But one night, I was on the bus, it was like 2 in the morning after a show. He was exhausted, but he was up playing video games as usual, and then he went over to the table, was eating cereal or something, and I'm just sitting there kind of waiting around, and he looks at me, and he's like, hey, come here. I was like, okay, and I go over to the table, and he has this video. He's like, check this out. And it was a funny little video, and we both laughed, and it was all good. And I was like, let me show you one. So I pulled up a video and showed him. He laughed, and we just basically shared some videos together. And I knew at that moment that we had crossed over, that now he trusted me. And from then on, we were really close, and he would kick everyone out of the room for privacy, but he wouldn't kick me out.
We need to get this door open somehow.
Oh my
God. Oh my God! Poor Justin! Oh Jesus, please!
He's fine.
On a normal movie set, director can walk on, they bring out your chair, you are the king of the set, which I was used to right before because I just shot a movie. And then you go into Bieber world, and you're getting shoved by moms, elbowed by little girls, and I can't even keep the camera straight. I'm like just trying to keep up. It just made it a game of like, how do I get that shot when everyone wants the same exact shot? Now I'm competing against like a little girl with a cell phone getting in my way. Tomorrow, what we're gonna do is, you know, in the beginning when you stand up and the globe comes up?
Yeah.
I want that sort of Michael moment where literally people are just cheering for longer than what you've been doing. And we need a camera to come run in and do a 360 around you. So when you're standing there and the smoke's going up, I want this camera to go all the way around you, see all the glow sticks come back around, and then leave the shot. So I'm gonna ask Scrappy to tell you to just stay there, and we'll cue you when you should go. Everyone will be cheering. What was crazy about Madison Square Garden was that we knew we had one show to shoot. That was it. All these guest stars were coming in. We'd never seen them perform with Justin. They had a very quick rehearsal with Justin. And we didn't know where they were going to stand. We didn't know where they were going to be. And we had to tell these 11 3D cameras where they were going to be. And it was on my shoulders because I had them in my ear. So we set up this little headquarters in one of the hallways at Madison Square Garden, and I had all the monitors there, and I was able to talk to all the different cameras about where to go and what to do. And I'm sort of the quarterback of this thing of, okay, Justin's going to go on to that railing that he always likes to do, and he's going to reach out and make sure someone gets there. I'm not a trained dancer, I'm not very good. But I love dance. I grew up watching Michael Jackson and all his music videos. I grew up watching Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, and they were master storytellers. They were master storytellers through movement. And with Justin, you know, it was all about his music and about his normal life beyond that with his home videos and stuff. But the dance, when we did get into the dance in 3D, really could help form some energy about his life, especially because we're intercutting the dancing with the story of his life. To be at Madison Square Garden and doing that was It was something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. I mean, that place has so much history. And so it felt special. It felt very, very special. And it felt like everybody brings it to the garden, so we had to bring it too. You know, we're not intellectualizing everything, it's an emotional thing. The promise of technology has always been to connect human beings. And for so long, the technology has been in our way. It's a giant box in our face. Now it's almost like a piece of paper, and it's a window to the rest of the world. And that's what it was for Justin. That's what the story really is about. Kids in their living room discovering other kids. And for the first time, technology is really bringing humans together. The world is getting smaller. And that's a huge revelation in how our culture is going to go into the future and how we're going to relate to each other.